Okay, this step is going to show you how to select your figure, get rid of all the background. Now when you first get your picture, you may find that the background's locked. You need to unlock that background. To do this, you just double click on the background in the layers window and it's unlocked. So if you find that when you start using something like the eraser tool and you don't get the grid, the checkerboard, that if you get something besides that, it means that probably your layer is locked. So you're just going to keep going. My advice is to just erase as much as you can. Don't get real close to your figure, but just erase all the big stuff. Now it's at this time as well, you might find that you might want to change the size of your picture. For example, I find that the right and the left areas are kind of tight. I want to make it larger. You can do that. You can do that actually at pretty much any time, but the earlier you do this, the better. You're going to go up to Image, you're going to go to Resize, and you go to Canvas Size. Now, this here says where the image is going to be anchored. Now, let's say, for example, that I want the image itself to be anchored from the bottom. That means if I made it taller, all the added inches would be added to the top. Whereas if I wanted just the right side to be, that side to be increased, I can anchor it to the left. So I'm going to set the height the same. I'm going to set the width to something wider. Let's say that I want it to be 10. Always go bigger than you think you need. You can always crop it later. So now this would be my new image. So I'm going to continue with my eraser tool. Now if you had a picture taken where you have a nice contrast background, you can actually go ahead and use even the magic wand tool, go on top of some part of the background and hit delete. You can see that kind of crops it pretty quickly, pretty nicely. But you got to keep an eye on it just to make sure that you're not deleting part of your figure that you're going to need. So I could probably get a big part of this done just by doing this process. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go back some of the areas that you didn't get, and you use some of the selection brush tools, such as the actual selection brush tool. Now right now, if you notice that something that doesn't look familiar, it's because the mode's on mask. You want to keep the mode on selection. And you guys did use this before in the playing cards, where you can actually make a selection, and it's like using a brush, and you can go on top of some of the areas that you don't want, and you can hit delete. Hit the escape tool anytime you want to get rid of the marching ants. You can also use the Polygon Lasso tool for areas that might work out better if the lines are a little more straight. And every time you click, you can change the angle of your image. Okay, so you're going to keep this process up until you have all of your picture, all the background deleted, and you're just left with your figure.